Hello, everybody. Once again, it's Jimmy Like Halo, and today we're going to be talking about the next part of the Master Chief Collection. That's also technically DLC, Halo 3 ODST. Now, like I just said, this game wasn't always on the Master Chief Collection. Originally, this game just launched with Halo 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then later on, they not only added Reach for $10, but then you could get ODST for $5. And if you had Game Pass, they would both just be included on that as well. Mainly what I really want to talk about today is the first time I played this game. This was one of the first Halo games I played too, ODST, is the story of how this was Bungie's first spin-off, right? Because before this they were just making Halo 1, 2, 3, right? Those were all mainline trilogy. And then they did a little spin-off game like ODST. It's a very short game. It's like 5 hours at most if you just play through all the levels back to back, like no side stuff or anything. And it takes place during Halo 2 actually. The only reason it's called Halo 3 is because that's the engine it's using, is the Halo 3 one in the Xbox 360. But this game actually was kind of like slightly semi-open world. It's kind of hard to explain unless you see it. It's basically like you start off in the New Mombasa area as the rookie ODST, and you're trying to find your other ODST squad mates. And while you're doing this, you're finding like parts left behind by them because you like woke up later, and by the time you're getting there it's after they already left and they're somewhere else. So you're seeing from their perspective when you find their items, like a flashback thing, and then you play as them in that level. So you're basically a detective ODST trying to figure out what's going on. And then near the end of the game you meet up with everyone, and then you execute whatever plan you're trying to do the whole time. But this game's story is very simple but very unique and cool. Easily the best part about this game is the soundtrack. It is very somber, like sadder tones of being like alone and dark and rainy. And it really makes you, feel like alone because you're just this rookie ODST in this abandoned area. You don't know where anyone is or what's going on. You're just told to go here, right? You're not, this is the first time you weren't Master Chief, a Spartan in a Halo game. So it's like you're not this all powerful person. You actually have a stamina bar instead of energy shields, which you can see right here. This is not an energy shield, it's a stamina bar. So when you take damage, you don't just heal it. You have to find these health packs, which they later then used in Halo Reach, but also was in Halo 1. You had a health bar meter as well as a energy shield. But yeah, this is basically how it starts off. You come out of your pod and you're on your own. So you gotta find your way around in this dark area, and you're just it's a lot of intrigue, a lot of really cool, um, random Easter eggs and stuff you'll find along the way. Another thing about this game is you have this visor, which like highlights a bunch of stuff. So green things you need to find are highlighted in green. Yellow is your usual. Enemies will be red. If you turn this off, if you turn this off, it's actually a lot darker. It definitely helps. I don't know why I keep throwing grenades. It definitely helps with that. This game is very dark, especially on the original 360. I feel like it was darker. Maybe it was the TV I was playing at the time, but yeah, still a very good looking game. Just like Halo 3 holds up really well. The story's really good. The characters are really good. The music is really good. Obviously, the soundtrack. And yeah, really unique mechanics and stuff. You can't dual wield as well in this game. You can still carry turrets, which is kind of weird because those look pretty heavy. But all in all, it makes you feel like a cooler soldier. It's cool because it's different type of thing. Um, what's one? I think it was, yeah. They also added this new version, the SMG, that you can aim, the silence SMG, and then the silence pistol, which also zooms in as well, like the classic one. And yeah, that's basically it for the story that I talk about. I'm going to go a little bit into the multiplayer-ish side of things. Now, when Halo 3 ODST came out, right, it was 2 years after Halo 3, so they didn't actually have its own multiplayer, but instead they made this new mode called Firefight. Now, this mode is not PvP, it's PvE. It's like a survival wave-based thing, which is really cool. It's not quite like Call of Duty Zombies type of thing, but it's pretty close. And even in the Master Chief Collection, when they added Firefight to ODST, you could actually do this, as you can see here, Flood Fight, where you can fight the Flood instead of the regular enemies and brutes and stuff like that. So another really cool addition to this game and this mode. People really like ODST Firefight. I liked it, but I always tend to like Halo Reaches more because of the custom settings you could do in it. Not that it's super important or anything, but it's just a fun little side survival mode that they actually just not that long ago recently brought back to Halo Infinite that people were begging for. So that's also really cool. And yeah, if it wasn't for this game, they might not have come up with this mode. I kind of like this era of games, 2009 when this came out, because it's like they could have had DLC because they did for Halo 3 and map packs and stuff. But this game, they wanted to add its own like modes and stuff and ended up being more realized it's its own game. And I think that really makes it stand out among Halo games, even though it's still like kind of tied to Halo 3's identity. But yeah, it had its own modes and unique story and characters. And yeah, I really think Bungie did a good job with this game. There's a lot of aspects to really like about it. I think it's honestly underappreciated and underrated in a lot of Halo game lists and whatnot, or just games in general. But yeah, that's about it that I have to say about Halo 3 ODST. Definitely a game worth checking out, especially if you've never played it. Very good Halo game, definitely underrated. Very short as well. If you just want a short game to just blast through, absolutely recommended. I'm sorry for my scuff setup once again. Um, this won't always be like this. This is just a temporary thing. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.